Yo, what's up? My name is HOWL, and today I'll be talking about iFeature's new plugin called Spectral Compressor. I just want to say a quick thank you to iFeature for giving me early access to this plugin to test it out and use it on a few instances before making this video. And yeah, let's get into it. So let me start off by saying that the installation of this plugin was very smooth, the authorization process as well. I just had to open the plugin, log into the website, and authorize the plugin. But it did that automatically for me, so it was basically plug and play. The plugin also loads up quickly into the DAW, no issues, no glitches, no UI glitches, or not that I've experienced so far. So this plugin is very stable. Even when scaling, it just doesn't lose its quality, it stays intact. So that's a very, very good first impression. Now for the interface, I really like this interface. It's not distracting, straightforward, it looks clean, and everything's mapped clearly. You have a good oversight of what all these knobs do. So that's also another great feature of this plugin. The Spectral Compressor comes with a few parameters, your basic compressor parameters like attack, release, dry wet slider, ratio, knee, makeup gain, and your down threshold. But this one also introduced an upwards compression threshold, which is interesting, and a tilt function. Now, what does this tilt function do? It basically adjusts frequency-dependent sensitivity. So, this means it will emphasize high or low frequencies based on which way you tilt it. So, it functions as a biasing compression curve. In this case, it isn't visualized, but that's not a problem because it's very obvious when you hear it. Now, I could keep explaining what all these parameters do, but I think it's best if we just listen to them. If you'd like to learn more about what the parameters do, iFeature has made a guide that comes with the plugin, which explains everything very clearly. So for the first listening test, I provided a break that sounds like this. I think the best way we can go about this is if I just keep it on loop and tweak some parameters to make it sound better. Let's A/B really quick. So what I really like in this example is that the break became a little bit brighter because the downwards threshold basically reduced the louder frequencies, which were mostly low-end frequencies, and the upwards compression, or the upwards threshold, basically boosted the quiet bins in the signal and made it just a little bit brighter. So let's move on to the next example. This is a synth loop I have. Okay, so I'll do the exact same thing here. I'll just let it play and tweak the parameters in the meantime, and you can listen to what it does. So let's A/B really quickly. So what I really like is that, again, it makes it pretty bright because it is compressing everything together in a very drastic manner this time because I put the ratio pretty high. I just feel like this could be a replacement for OTT because you have way more control in this case. Now, I could also start playing with the tilt function and make it more dark. Now in that case, I like how much body it's bringing out. So what if I kind of parallel compress this? Let's A/B really quickly. Yeah, as you can see, it's bringing a lot more of those body frequencies, like those mid frequencies. And I just really like the texture it has. Even when it's pushed to its limits, it kind of sounds crunchy. I mean, it has some very interesting artifacts, but I personally am all for it because I like the texture that it brings and just the character that this plugin has. The thing that makes Spectral Compressor versatile is that a Spectral Compressor doesn't have to be used on a single element. It can also be used on a full mix to tighten it up or to just compress some frequencies to make it more balanced. So that's what we'll be doing in a second. This is a track that I made, and let's just see what it can do. Now let's A/B really quickly. So as you can hear, the frequency spectrum kind of gets compressed and more balanced as we go. The track itself is more low-end based, so it kind of lacks the high-end energy, which the Spectral Compressor with the upwards compression kind of introduces back, which I really like. I took down the dry-wet fader a little bit to keep a little bit of the original in there, but I really like how the Spectral Compressor is sounding. Okay, so if I had to point anything out that I think this plugin is missing, it would be a bypass button, because I really like to A/B my work, especially with compressors, because it's not always obvious what it's doing. And that's just a function I think this is missing. Something else that I have found myself looking for is a way to type in fixed values or like dialing them in more precisely with a shift drag function. So that's something else I really miss in this plugin. And then one bonus thing I noted is saving presets. For example, if I have a fixed preset that I would like to use for mastering or for just tidying up a mix that's already pretty good, I think a preset saving function would really save me some time. But apart from that, this plugin is very solid, it's very well made, and it does exactly what it needs to do. It's one of the best spectral compressors I've personally used, and I have to give it to iFeature because this one really holds up against the rest. So in conclusion, I really like this one. It's pretty transparent, it has a nice UI, it's scalable, it's not glitchy, it's not buggy, it's super compact, and it just does exactly what it needs to do. Now, for the cons, what I just said, having some way to type in fixed values or saving presets or having a bypass button would make this plugin even more powerful, but is it really necessary? In my opinion, no, because it does exactly what it needs to do, and that's all that matters. I also want to point out that iFeature did everything himself, from the UI to the coding of this plugin to his website, so 30 euros for this plugin is honestly a very good quality price correlation in my opinion. So I definitely suggest go and testing it out yourself if you're interested. So yeah, that'll be it for me. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.